Okay, Clinton, how's it? I've made you the co-host. Okay, mate.
Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, guys. Just a couple of minutes and we'll get started. We all know why we're here. So just going to start again with how the mechanics of trading. You heard it before. Well, prepare to be a bit bored. So I don't want people interrupting unless it's to do with the trading CPI session. Background noise tends to I lose my concentration, to be honest. So otherwise I have to mutual, which I prefer not to do. Okay, how's it, MK? Yeah, okay, where were we? Yes, so prepare to be a bit bored. You've seen it before. There are new guys who haven't, so we're going to go through the mechanics of the trade. Remember, it's not a buy trade or a sell trade. It's a straddle trade. Straddle being the operative word. We're going to be doing twice a month, so if you honestly make a mistake this time, there will be other opportunities. Do not panic on that. Yeah, but make sure you understand it first and before place the trade. I'm going to use an examples. I don't want you placing it well yet, basically. I want to get the idea because I don't want the position buy or sell to be filled before the 2:30 consumer price index in the US, the United States, is released. We don't want that filled. So I'll be going over it in a moment. Just let some more guys come in. Quite a few at the moment. That's good. In the meantime, I'm just going to put trading room. This is where I do the trading room. I host that 9:30 to 11 every day, Mondays to Fridays, not the weekend. So if you want to sort of join me there, hopefully we'll do some practical stuff and hopefully iron out one or two mistakes that people make from sheer not knowing it, So it's useful to have. Okay. While I'm leading up to 4, I just want to mention I have a VIP group. If you want to be a member of that WhatsApp group, it's a QTE VIP WhatsApp group. If you want to be a member, you need $150 or 2.5 grand balance, of course, or more, but a minimum I'm talking about here. So if you have, you can just WhatsApp me. Just give me a number. I'll write my contact details down the chat line. Okay, I'm also going to put the very important, the dollar index, DXY, it's often known as, for you, because that's very useful for trading. But all this stuff is revealed if you can come to the trading room. I also want to mention, if you're working at that when you can't, it is recorded. Go to the portal. You'll know what the portal is. Go to the bottom of the menu. You'll see social media, YouTube. It's recorded there. So if you miss a trading room, you need to see the stuff there. It's there, but it's better to be on live because then you can interact. It's like a forum, like a family, and we can interact and we learn practical stuff, which you don't always learn in the theory area. You know what I mean? It's like going to the real world once you left school. School for theory, the practical I go through. So there you are. You got the DXY, you got my contact details, and I'll put up the economic calendar. It's very useful as well. Keep an eye on what major economic stuff is released, so you don't jump into a trade just before a major economic release is about to be let out. There we are. Okay, all right, that's 2 o'clock. Let's get started. The consumer price index in the US is very important because what's the idea behind it? It gives an indication what is likely to happen what is happening in inflation. Now, inflation is critical to the US at the moment and the world really because they've, quite frankly, been spending too much on borrowed money, not their own, borrowed money. And they're trying to bring inflation down. To do that, they use interest rates. So one of the guides on the consumer price index is if it's higher than expected and the expected amount on the yearly is 5.3%. Now, it might not seem too bad, but it's quite high for the States. Remember that. So if it's higher, it's going to be inflationary, And then there'll be talk of coming up tomorrow evening at 8 o'clock. Maybe there might be another interest rate rise. It's expected no interest rate rise tomorrow, but that could change things. The CPI is way above. We do not know. So this is just not until the release. Nobody does. But if it's more, if it is higher, might lead towards a possible interest rate increase. If it is lower, and the consensus seems to be expectation slightly lower than expected, that'll be considered they're on the track for slightly deflationary. It's better, in other words. So that'll add more fuel. There'll be no increased rate. If it's a lot lower, there might even be talk tomorrow, the expectation they might even bring interest rates down, which the banks are clamoring for in the United States. So it'll affect world markets. So I don't care if you're in Australia at 2 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the morning, whenever you are, it doesn't matter at what time of day or night, around the world, traders are going to be sitting in front of their machines right now, computers right now, waiting for this release. It's that important. Okay. All right. So how are we going to trade it? Do we know it's going to go up or down? Well, clearly, obviously, otherwise, put all your money on it and retire a millionaire in half an hour's time. Wish it was as simple as that. So we're going to do what's called a straddle trade. Now, if you've done it before, you can choose the instrument you want. I suggest it's a dollar one, not the Swiss franc or the Canadian, but maybe the yen dollar or the euro dollar is quite common. But consensus in the trade, they quite like the gold, so I'm going to use gold. Okay. Right. I'm not going to explain on the dollar, yen, or euro dollar because those guys usually will know the parameters, so I don't explain that. Right. On gold, I'm going to put a $2 above, $2 below. If you're going to do $2 above or below, then it's 40 Rand per micro. Please don't ask me what your volumes are. There's 100 people there with different strategies, different volumes, different. So you've got to know your own volume. So if you're going to do a $2 above, $2 below, use 40 Rand a micro. If you're going to do $1 above and below, you can use 20 Rand a micro to work out your correct volumes. That is your job. Okay. Right. Now I'm going to put the trade in as I'm going to show you now. Got gold up on the 15-minute. I'm now going to go to gold. And I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to, well, I'm doing it, so I'm going to double click, sorry, habit. And then I'm going to go from market execution to pending order, click on it. Then I'm going to go to the buy stop. I'm going to actually finish up with $1 above or below. For the purposes, I'm going to put $2 above or below, change it close to the time. I don't want my buy or my sell order to get taken in. Filled is the correct term. We don't want it filled. So I'm going to have to put it slightly above and I'll adjust it accordingly. I suggest you don't do anything for the moment. Watch and learn. If you know how to do it, well, then you'll probably place it just around about 25 past at the latest, and then make sure, watch it, you're not filling. Okay. So don't ignore my volumes. I work it out for myself. This is for me. You work it out for yourself. You might have a bigger, small, most will have a smaller one. Work out for yourself. I'm now going to put it in $2 above. That's 64.66. I'm going to 1966. And then I'm going to place the order. Better show here. If it doesn't, I'll have to make sure it does. I right click in a blank piece of the chart and I see trade levels there. Go down to trade levels, click it. I can see it there. I want to make sure it's not going to get filled. I'll adjust it accordingly later on. So I don't get filled as I'm trying to explain the thing to you guys. Right now, and then I go to gold again and I double click again. And this time I go to market execution, change the pending order. And this time I'm going to put $2 below. So that's going to be 163161. Is that right? 1961. And then I'm going to place the order. Notice I haven't got a stop loss or TP. Don't worry about that right now. One cancels the other. So this is a stop loss or a cover for my hedge, if you like, on that one, or this one is covered by that one. Only after the data release, if you find there's not much movement and jumping around, neither are filled, I suggest you close both of them. Don't get into the market. We don't want to get in there and nothing happens. Right. If it goes, but if one of them's filled, let's say this top one, the buy stop filled, before you do anything, you delete this one here. You can do it down here in your trades, or you can right click here and delete it. Make sure that happens. Once the unfilled, the non-filled orders deleted, you run with it. Then you can take your time to put a stop loss in and ride it. Now, I've also got the DXY up on my screen. You might keep an eye on it. The reason being is if the DXY continues downwards, gold goes the opposite direction, a hell of a lot quicker than gold sometimes, then you can stick with your trade and see if you can maximize the profits. Okay, and vice versa. So if the dollar starts screaming up, it's likely gold go down. If the dollar screams off, it's likely gold up. So what's going to happen is this. If the inflationary figures come out lower than CPI expectation, it is likely to have dollar weakness and be an up movement on gold. If it's above, then it's likely to be expectation interest rate rise, increase of interest rates down for gold. We don't know how it's going to affect. We also don't know the difference between the actual and the released amount. It might be exactly the same, which is the worst scenario, because now everyone's confused how to react. It's exactly expected. We want a difference between the two. The bigger the difference, normally the bigger the movement. Also got to understand people react differently. There's a lot of emotions flying around, as you all know, in trading. So don't try and second guess. Go with the facts, go with the figures, and run the trade. If it's your first time and you don't do it right, or you get out too quickly, or do something like that, panic not. We'll be having again, and you'll get better as it goes along. But if you still don't have an understanding of what I've just done, I will explain again. I will stop explaining around about 20 past or just after to give guys time to put the trade in. Okay, so has anybody not got that? You need to respond if you haven't. And guys, believe me, if you start entering here, the trading room at just after 20 past and ask me how to do it, I'm not sure I'll have enough time to explain. So teach the guys to be on time. Okay. Peter, I don't know what you talk about. You got to buy stocks. Oh, oh, thank you. Just show what I've done wrong there. You bloody idiot, Roger. Sorry, too busy talking. So I think you're going to say that. Okay. Right. Where were we? Gold. Sell stop. It's a sell stop, no limit. Sorry, well done. That's so important to interrupt immediately. I don't know who it is. That's very important. Beg your pardon. It's 1960, isn't it? Yeah, 1960. Cool, thanks, Clinton. I saw it just as you saw it there. Right, okay, right. So that's a buy stop, sell stop. I do beg your pardon, guys. Too busy talking, trying to explain, and click the wrong bloody thing. Make sure you don't do that. Okay, any comments? No, it's $2 below the sell, $2 above. I'll be watching that. It's going to be fairly quiet the next few minutes anyway, and I'm watching. I just drag it down and maneuver it. I'm going to drag it even closer because I want $1 between the two as it gets closer to the release anyway. So, but thanks, Mark. So you've got a sell stop, buy stop. Have you got an idea? If you haven't, say so. If you're too scared to say so and you haven't got an idea, don't do it. We didn't do it with a couple of, I think about a couple of months ago we did euro dollar, but consensus of trading, this said prefer to do gold. If you want to do the euro dollar, you can do anything you like. I'm just happy to using gold this time because people seem to like it, so I've got gold. You can do both. Some guys are going to do euro dollar and gold. Some might do the dollar yen and gold. As long as he's got dollar there, rather leave the Canadian, the Swiss out of it. Rather, if he's got a dollar in there, that's fine. He starts getting close, Mark and company. And I'm too busy looking at the screen and the wrong screen. But you remind me so I don't get filled. Happened last time, too busy not filled. And it was an unnecessary couple of bucks that went down the flow. Okay, Fritz, good. As long as your question's answered, you must understand. Please understand, ask. We've got some time. That's the whole idea of starting at 2 o'clock, so we can get it clear. We don't, guys, if it goes well, we've had 2 or 3 who's gone well and asked anybody not made money, and 1 or 2 hands went up. And normally, well, not normally, absolutely, if they haven't followed the mechanics, they pressed the wrong button or didn't get it properly in, or I didn't know something anyway. You must understand it. It's not complicated, but when it's fast, it can addle the mind a bit. Any questions, Barbara? Going to move this down a bit out of the way. Don't want to get filled. Okay, any questions, guys? Sorry, Mark. Sorry, I do have stuff to do, but please keep an eye out for it, just in case I miss it. And you, Clinton, sorry, mate. You do not want to be filmed before the release. Okay, any questions? Yeah, that's a good point, Farney. Just remember, there's a difference between a point and a pip. It's 10 points, 1 pip. And this is not pips. This is $2 on the gold. I'll be closing a little bit closer later on near the time, but that's up to me, up to you if you know how to do it and all I'm talking about. But if you're using the currencies, it's 100 points or 10 pips, yeah. Well, then you've done it daft, Desir. I've said it 100 times. Don't let that happen. It's happened to me last. Don't let that happen. In fact, don't even think of placing the order now. Rather place the order at 25 past. If it takes more than 5 to place the order, then place it a little bit earlier. But rather place it a little bit closer to time, so you've got no risk getting filled. If you're more of a dab hand at it, and you can just move these things around or whatever, do a bit earlier. But that's the guy's done before and know what the heck I'm on about. The only reason why I say I put it a little bit higher than I normally end up with, skips out the way a bit more, is I don't want to get filled as I'm speaking. As it gets closer time, I'm going to move these two a bit closer. If you don't know what the heck I'm on about, don't try. Just keep it simple, stupid, get the idea. And try and get these. There's a question that worries me a bit there, Mark. People should, if they want to be taken this seriously, get the right equipment. I've said it many times. If you want to be a success in anything, any business, you need capital, you need knowledge, and the right equipment. You know what I'm saying? I'm a car mechanic, guys, and I come around and fix your car, and I've got a plastic spanner and a glass hammer. You're not, and the credibility is going to get a little bit on the shop side. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't really matter at this stage of the game, guys. If you're not in the, don't place the trade yet. I'm just doing it because I'm showing how it's working. I'll do it again if you like. I've got a couple of minutes to make sure I was on. Knock this off. Knock this off. Right, we'll do it again just so you've really got the idea. You can delete it that way. There's many ways to do it. I'm not teaching you how to operate the platform now. Actually, it's up to you now to do that. If you can't operate the platform, you shouldn't be able to trade anyway. Right, let's just try this one here. We'll start with the, sorry, make sure I get the pending order right this time, eh? Buy stop, where's it, 62? All right, quite a lot, isn't it? Surprise, actually. Normally it's a bit quieter than that leading up to the big release, eh? A sell stop. There you are, sell stop. Put in the price, what's it, 90.59 minus 2, make it 19.7. Then press the place. What I'm there, and see on it. So what you talk about, Wendili, how can you be in a sell stop in profits? It hasn't been the data released till 2:30. Come on, you've been the trader enough times. You've done it enough times over the last couple of months. You shouldn't, not be in. I'm just showing you how to do this. Don't place the order yet. You don't want to get filled till 2:30 release. Please. Very important. Well, if you're in the trade now, that's so be it. You might be lucky actually. Anyway, bottom line is, guys, give them a few minutes before you place the order. I'm putting on this so you can see how it's done. So I'm just explaining it to you. I don't think you should do it yet because you're not, especially your first time out, you're not adept at maneuvering the prices around. Remember, on top of it, I've got to explain it to you as well as keep an eye on it. So I've got good men like Mr. Shearer and Mr. Kruger to keep an eye on it for me. Especially Mr. Kruger was about to say, very gently, very diplomatically say, Roger, you got the wrong sodding order in. It's a sell limit. And he would have had a fun time in the trading strategy room tomorrow, taking the right raw PISS out of me, and quite rightly too. But anyway, I saw it in time. Yeah, if you're already filled, well, you shouldn't be. Don't be filled. I can't say any more than that. Do not get filled before the 2:30 dart release. Anything like that you don't understand, well, maybe it's my English accent, I don't know. Can I send a late signal? You see, a question like that means I'm not sure you're getting what this is about. It's not a trading signal as in trading signal. It's a straddle trade to take advantage of a data release. We don't know what effects can have the market. If it's positive, we've got to buy stop. If it's negative, we've got to sell stop. And we delete the one that's not filled. I don't want 20 minutes later people saying, what do I do about my other pending order? Or you got filled on both or something like that. You've got to be careful of that. And normal trades, prior items are in that, but this is not a normal trade. I will take because of the data release. If you're going to do euro dollar, I'm suggesting 10 pips above and below. That's fairly close, so make sure you don't again get the damn order in till just before the release, so it's not filled. If it's getting near to be filled, what do? Move the thing out the bloody way. Remember, I've got Mark and Clinton to help me out because they can see it. Can't see yours, Merrill, so you're on your own then, mate. Good. Well, you will do for the next while, I tell you. It takes a bit of time to learn this stuff, like any business. Unless you're in the IT biz like Mark, that takes about 5 minutes because that's easy. Hey, am I right there, Mark? Hey. No, I don't. One cancel the other. That is my stop loss for that. That's a hedge more than stop loss. I remove that and I put my stop loss after the release. I said, you could do that, Mike. You certainly could do that. But I'm trying to back and understand the basic straddle without introducing other complications to it. Mike, you're a bit more sophisticated in your knowledge there. So if you want to put a stop loss of 30 pips below again, or above, or whatever the thing is, above the sell and below the stop, you certainly can, yeah. For sure. A bit more around, right? Just remind me as well. I want to make these a bit closer before release. Too busy explaining and etc. Kenneth, you can, if you understand it. If you don't understand it, try next time. Come to the trade room and understand it next time. 10 minutes to go. Yeah. Give it a couple more minutes, and then I'll say, like, start placing the trade. So you get guys join a little bit late, and I'm not sure I'll have time to explain it again. And some guy join after 1/2 and could still do the trade. Well, if the data's been released, how can you do it? That's old news then. It's like saying, after I know it's on red in the casino, can I place my bet on red? Well, actually, no, you can't. Yeah, no, maybe not, Kenneth, to be fair. But never mind, if you like, fair enough. I was lost when I first looked at the motor car. Now I can change gear. Well, I'm automatic, but I can change gear without even thinking about it. Practice. Join the trading room, get the knowledge of what it's about. It's new. No, everyone started. I did. Everybody here started at some stage. Dirk is actually a good man to have here because he's done it a couple of times and he's done okay by it. And he's sort of a bit of an old hand now. And he remembers when he first started how nerve-wracking it is. And especially if it jumps around a lot, you panic, you take your profit quickly, and then you suddenly made 10 rand, you should have made 50 or something like that. It will be nervous the first time. It's inevitable. You know, it's anything. Your first time going solo in a motor car or aircraft or any bloody thing, it's always a bit nerve-wracking. Be fair on yourself. Once you know what you're doing, it's fun, yeah. Yeah, if you still don't get the understanding, it's a bit too late to explain now. This is what Fritz said. Don't place a trade if you're not sure. Don't try and place it 30 seconds before and say, 20 seconds release, should I place a trade now? No, you won't have time. Make sure you get both. I don't want to get one and not the other. You might get lucky, you might not. I want after this, people say, yes, I enjoyed it and I made a couple of bucks. I don't want them to say, oh, I lost money. How do you do that? Well, I didn't get into trading all right. That's not the market's fault, that's ours. We've got tough enough time with the variables of the market movements, which it can be that can be controlled. Both, Ruan. Year on year or month on month, look at both you like. And yet core CPI normal. What's the name of the core CPI? Core CPI is that F and F, fuel and food, basically. CPI is with everything. So when it says core CPI, it just means the CPI that doesn't have the energy and the fuel increases included. An interesting one about the Z finger. Oh, Z finger. As long as it's not a fat finger and puts the wrong trade in. Any questions, guys? Start to slow down a bit. Remember, it's on the 15, not put on the daily chart now. Start to slow down a bit. I'm a bit surprised we had as much move as we did in the last few minutes. I think a lot of institutions may be changing. Maybe think it's going to be higher or lower. I don't know what they're doing. Maybe just guys out there don't know about straddle trades and jumping in emotionally, as we had with the PAM here. You Clinton with a guy went in overexposed going one way because you're convinced that's what's going to happen from previous chit chats on various areas without knowing 100%. Never mind what expert ABC says. We don't know. And most important, always remember this. We don't know what the emotional reaction will be. Sometimes we see slow moves and it becomes quicker. Yeah, remember, there's a lot of human emotion flies. Just understand that. 20 rand per 0.01 if it's $1 above and $1 below. If you're doing $2 above and below, double to 40 rand for 0.01. If you do $1, I'm going to do $1 close to time. So if you're going to put it in now, if you're doing gold, maybe put it $2 above below and just start to, so you don't get filled before the time. And then, as I say, if you have the expertise, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't do it, then you can just drag a little bit closer to the nearer the $1. Okay. It's a bit risky unless you do it just after 25 past, because $1 is a bit close. And it's moving a bit more actively than I would normally expect, to be honest. It's dead as a bloody doornail leading into this. Like I mentioned before, people around the world are up. Don't care if it's 3 o'clock in the morning, 1. Traders are in front of that computer waiting for this. Very important. And don't forget, we'll discuss it afterwards. And I don't want guys saying, I did it wrong because I put a buy limit in or a sell limit in, or I didn't put a buy, or I didn't delete one of them. If you don't understand, learn, take notes, and we'll do it again. Remember, this is not your one and only opportunity. The quicker you catch on, hopefully the quicker, the better it's going to be. It's another 5 minutes. I'm watching it. I don't have, unfortunately, time now to explain it yet again. I hope you've all got it. And then join me again in the trading room. I explain, in the trading room, we get quiet moments as well. In fact, come to the trading room anyway. It's very important. Yeah, ask any of the guys on here who go to the trading regularly. I promise they'll know more than you do, even they might not have been trading as long. So they're picking up the practical aspects. And we have it like a family, guys. And I don't know everything, nor does anybody else know everything, so we share. Just about it. Brady, I have no idea what's going to happen. I can give opinions, but they're valueless. As I said before, there's many variable factors. You can sometimes get a major difference in the slow media reaction, then it goes in the wrong direction, and it jumps up, and then maybe 20 minutes later, it starts to sort of come together again. Emotional reaction as well as a differential reaction on a rational basis. The emotional one's the biggest one to worry about, because as I say, there's millions and millions of traders out there, and not all of them. A large amount of the retail traders has increased astronomically over the last 2-3 years, and not all of them are operating on rationality, or their strategies producing more emotion, and then funny things can happen when you're trading emotionally. Okay, so there's no point giving an opinion what's going to happen. Just follow what actually does happen. That's the best way to look at it. Okay, Brady? Okay, I hope you're starting to place your trades now. It's 25 past or just after. Make sure you got your trades in, whichever instrument you're using, and just make sure you don't get filled and keep an eye on it. If it works out for you, well, trust me, it's an adrenaline hit. And if it doesn't work out for you, go and blame the government. That's what their job is. Be blamed. Well, it's moving around a hell of a lot. Just before, it's incredible, actually. Usually it's dead as a doornail. What the hell? What is happening here? Market clearly doesn't know. A lot of guys out there tell them, watching that price action there, preempting it's going to go up and preempting it's going to go down. In fact, it's come down and gone up in such a short-term chart. Means that's a lot of emotional guesswork going on. Yes, Fritz, that's a lovely thing to put on. Do you see that? In capital letters, you can't miss it. Absolutely. I blame Escom. I like it too. Blame bloody Escom. Not the government. Well, blame them as well, if you like. Escom. Good idea. About time they got blamed for something other than just studying electricity. Couple of minutes to go, guys. Sound like this one of these spacecraft taking off. We have liftoff. Probably too many youngsters out there who won't remember all that. So we've got Neo coming a little bit on the late side. Bloody hell. This is the biggest move I've seen. I don't know how long. What's happening now? CP. Sell that. Sell that. What the frick have I got in here now? Shit, man. Ah, body fire. I've got time now for this. Oh, Christmas. Let's just sell out. That's going to be okay. Ah! Take me. What has it? Why has it taken me? Looks like I've made a mistake here. What's happening to buy sell stocks? I think I'm going to place them in just before I'm sort of faffing around. Ah! Now what the hell? So it's jumping all over. So what figures were they? Exactly the same. The CPI slightly less on the normal CPI. The core exactly the same, only a tiny difference. So I'm just caught badly on either side there. You got that whiplash. That can happen. Sorry about that, guys. Let it run, see if it comes back. What's up with DXY? Not much at the moment. It's like I got caught in that thing. So I'd be careful. It's not always a guarantee. That's why I'd be careful. Just took that one in, took that one. It happens. That's what happens when you get something that comes out exactly the same. So it might come back a bit as it settles down. It might hit the sell. Well, if you took it quickly, you're all right. I mean, we've had good ones. You can have bad. So say, otherwise, it's good every time. You'd mortgage your house and put the lot on it. You can get rid of a whiplash, and that normally occurs when you have the exact as expected, or just so near as damage. It's had no effect on the DXY. It's coming off a bit at the moment, so it might be some more gold upside. So I wouldn't mind going the wrong way, but it's still it's still too close to call. It's just too sideways. It doesn't know, the market at this stage doesn't know what to make of these figures. That's why it's jumping around all sort of fun fashion. It's not for demo or setting up accounts, guys. It's only for guys with live accounts should be trading in the trading room, because we can only take 100 people. Looks like it's going to predominantly seem to be the upside for some reason. But it could be either when it's exactly the same. I hope you're hearing me. If it's exactly the same, it creates confusion in the markets. We need a disparity. But I'm going to leave the sell and might come right. Hope there's not too many people going the wrong way, but whatever. I suggest you close your unfilled order anyway, if you haven't already done it. Good for that, Dirk. Looks like that's the right way to be. Not even sure I'm in this bloody thing either. I'm sure it was filled. The spike took you out. Yeah, well, that happens. Made you think you didn't lose any money. Good from the buy. It's looking like the occasion. Dollar hasn't come off much, but there's a bit of a red there. Oh, I see what you mean. Oh, well done. Looks like I jumped that in the gun a bit there. But it can't make its mind up at the moment, so it's jumping around. The world markets don't know what I mean. That is the problem. We've had that before about 3 months ago, when the market did not know what to make of the information. That's why you get this jumping around. 71 to 50, $21, literally in 15 minutes. In fact, less than that, about 2-3 minutes. Oh, great stuff. Just got a WhatsApp from Pietro. Brilliant, Pietro. Just made $21. Yes. Are we going to get some more happy stories here? Because this is one of the most difficult scenarios. You make a buck on this one, you'll clean it up and we get a big disparity. That's the easy part. It's sometimes, oh, I see, hit you both stop loss as well. Okay. We made a profit, well done. I'm talking Anne-Marie there. Looks like Mike's wishing you join now. Either can happen on this one, unfortunately. But stick it out. This is, hey, Dirk, it's the first one to behave like that in the last 3 months. It's in the last, I think, slightly more. We've had about at least 6, 8, something like that of these. And it's the first one, the guys didn't make a profit. It's jumping around like that. So I say, we don't know till it's released. Join the trading room. There you are. And pick up your knowledge so you get the hang of it. Well, hang of it, certainly learn stuff. Any questions, guys? If you're in, it's in a bit of a profit, get the stop loss in, look after yourself. Make sure you're looked after. Part of the game, very much so, yeah. If you whatever happens, delete the non-filled order. Please don't have an unfilled order sitting there. Keep an eye on, once you've done that, the filled order. It looks like consensus at the moment seems to be upside. So if you're in long, I think Dirk is, maybe a couple of other guys. We might get some more. It's a bit cagey because the figures, but that's amazing. But it looks like that. Maybe get a stop loss of some sort. Bit of protection. You're in a small profit. That's all I want to hear. So next time I do this, I'm going to put my orders in a bit later. Fortunately, I think flitting around trying to explain and look at 2-3 screens at the same bloody time. Just, anyway, it's my problem, but I'll sort that next time. But what about me and what about you guys? It seems to be trying to move up, so hopefully that'll occur. But look at this kind of movement, $20, literally. It's a 15-minute chart. That's since 2:30. That's in 5 or 6 minutes. Look at that. And because it's moving and the rest of it, every minute seems like 10 minutes, doesn't it? It's quite exciting to go as well, I tell you. It's addictive stuff, guys. Good question, Dirk. 60 cents, only $5 away, which is pretty circumstance, you well know. Having said that, we're jumping around it's up to you. It might be an idea to get it. You got a 62. Might be an idea to play safe. Yeah, it's if it was a big difference and I saw the dollar index flying off, I would say don't get it too close because it could get up to 2,000. You know what I mean? But the dollar hasn't really come off. It looks indecision at the moment. This looks pretty indecisive. So I think protect yourself. But yeah, because it could easily prop back. You might not make anything, but rather that than take a loss. Oh, did he indeed? Oh, that's all right. Remember some guys do both of them: dollar, euro dollar, or dollar yen and gold. I don't know. I can't say that, Dirk. It's always the hindsight. Next time, say, I wish I didn't gold instead of euro dollar. I don't know. Never mind. Easy to say in hindsight. We should put it in red instead of black, or we should put it in black instead of red in Monty's. You know what I mean? After the ball is settled in the roulette table. But yeah, see, so I think protect yourself. It doesn't know what it's doing wrong. Okay, you can do that, Pietro. Do you do okay in it? Oh, you just said, was that the one you did okay? You did very well. Good stuff. We'll change it next time. If the guy at the trading will want to change the euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar yen, I'll do it when I'm using the sessions again. But yeah, say, hope you're getting what I'm saying. I can't predict what's going to happen. The emotional reaction, nobody can. But I do know that there was virtually as expected, which is, in my opinion, the worst scenario. It creates confusion. You want a differential. And it shouldn't be dramatically bad. If you did that, you went in too big. When people come up and say, I'm blowing my account, it's too big, what's that all doing? That's when people are going in too big. You've got to get your risk reward right. Position size calculator, there it is. If you haven't got it, get it, go to the live chat and get technical support to get it onto your computer. You've got to get those volumes right. See it every day and sometimes in deaf ears. If you don't get your risk reward right, it's like driving a car. It's a 60 zone, you drive 120. Don't cry if you get yourself into trouble. You should be annoyed, you shouldn't be heartbroken. If you're heartbroken, you're overexposed. Okay, guys, any questions? You can probably sick the sound of my voice. I'm rather sick of it at the moment, so I'm sure someone else got something to say. Do you want to unmute or ask any questions? Some people are leaving probably in a huff. Happens. It might be. It doesn't know what it's bloody doing. I wouldn't even jump that far ahead of the game. That's my cock. I wouldn't follow my order. That's a cock up that. 4 or 5 things at once. I'll just put in a bit later next time. I don't want to hassle again. Quick but fun. Good stuff, Anne-Marie. Tomorrow morning. Another gentleman, know him well. Good old Vicky. Joined a bit late there, Mr. Vicky. Hi, Vicky. Joined a bit late there, sir. Been away for a while. 2:30 release. You missed it. That's good to hear, NK. Thank you for that. I see a bit of positive, this directionless movement at the moment. Okay, Dirk, catch you tomorrow. Don't forget, interest rate decision, 8 o'clock tomorrow evening. We're not doing a trading room, don't get me wrong, but just bear that in mind. Fantastic, Fritz, good. When you say that, better be on the live. Don't say I made a lot of money, find the demo. Demo shouldn't be on here. It's for live guys. That's what I think, one dealing. Look at that. It's no idea. It's 10 minutes into the 15-minute candle, and look at the wicks compared to the body. Okay, well, oh, you're in profit. Nice, all right. Fantastic, Pietro. But remember what you just said, walk away with a smile. Walk away with the obvious word. And don't really go back, start trading the gold, thinking you're going to double up, quadruple up, and put it all back again after release because you sit jumping around and you want to get cute with it. Yeah, let the thing settle before you get clever. if you're already out the market. Obviously, it's like the opposite sex. You don't chase them, you get them to chase you. Very important, hey guys? The dollar's coming off a bit now, so you might get some more movement if you're long on gold. You might have been stopped out. I don't know what's happened to all your accounts there, but the dollar's start to come off, so it looks like we might get some upside. So I think the sell thing isn't going to work out. That's my problem. Okay. Yeah, I've done that before, Coach Robbie. Yeah, very common. Go overexpose something, it works out. You think you found the route how to print money, go in again, double the overexposure to get even more money, and it comes back and bites. Don't get cute with the market. Forget your ego, respect it. Cheers, Ed. Cheers. Sorry about that, Mike. But don't give up on me. Hey, hope to get you back in the trading room soon. And don't forget, it could be a very good next time. Cheers. Any questions? And any of the other guys? Still quite a few guys on board there. Guys are still maybe scratching their head a bit. Any questions on it? Anything I've gone too quickly on and want a bit more relaxed explanation? I'll do my best. If I can't, Clinton or somebody will help you out. Yeah, anybody still sort of want to ask questions just to clarify for next time?
Hi, Roger.
Yeah. Sure.
I think what are you good?
I'm fine. Yeah, good.
Below and above, in case it does that, because then you don't lose a lot.
Don't agree. It's just this fear of losing means you take the wrong strategy. It's the upper mode emotion in your mind. 10 pips too close. 10 pips too close. You want to risk 10 pips, don't trade. You're wasting your time. It can stop you out and move in the right direction. If you want to put a stop loss in, I think 30 looking back is a bit close. Maybe do a 50, 60 pip stop, work out your position size accordingly and work on that basis if you want to put it in. I don't bother, but that's just me. I will put it in after the event if one's taken in, and that's worked out the last several times. Maybe not so much now. That's mainly one got filled or I picked the wrong button in my explanation. It's not my lack of knowledge or lack of expertise on the platform. It's just trying to do 2 or 3 things at once. But that's my problem. Don't do you like that. But don't 10 pips not going to work. Don't ever, if you want to put a stop loss 10 pips away because you're nervous, rather take the profit. 10 pips ain't going to cut it. Okay.
No. What I mean is, when it started out at half past, it went into the negative, it filled the negative, and then the red went down and then it went up. All right. So it filled both of them.
That can happen. That's the whiplash. It can happen. But as long as you know why, I've explained a few times, I want everyone to know why. So do you know why that happened?
I remember, because I was still busy focusing on the trade. You mentioned something about emotional reactions.
You just put your finger on something. That's an extremely good point made there. I'm concentrating on this, but you're concentrating on your own trade, and some of it's missed because it's all happening. Excellent point you made there. Yeah, the reason being is you get an expected data release and you get an actual after the release. If it's virtually exactly the same, let's say virtually, one was tiny bit different, but all intents and purposes the same, it creates confusion. You want a disparity. If you're expecting 10, you get 10, it's confusing. If you're expecting 10, you get 11, you get movement, or 9, you get movement. If you're expecting 10, you get 15 or 5, you get a far bigger movement. And that's what you're hoping for, a big difference between the expected. Because there wasn't any, the market didn't know what to make of it. Hence you got these movements. That's why you can get that situation occur. And it can be too quick to delete both orders. I mean, one get filled when it does happen. That we call the whiplash. That's why I say, because you made money last time, don't say I'm going to mortgage my house and put it all on you. There's a quick way to make a buck. There isn't such a thing. If there's a quick way to make a buck, I'll tell you all about it, and I'll be remembered in history to solve the unemployment and poverty in the world. Clearly, that is not. You see my point? There's still poverty, it's still unemployment. So there's no quick, easy, 100% way to make a quick buck. You might get lucky, but that's all it is. It's luck. It's not skill. Just bear that in mind. Okay.
So what happened with me is that I put it exactly the same when you did. It was 1957. I think it was 70. It filled it. But what I'm saying is that when it comes back, it's gonna obviously kick you out, right? If you put a stop loss. So what I'm saying is that if I put a stop loss maybe 10 pips above the actual mark, then it kicks me out. Then I maybe lose like 90 cents or $1. Do you know what I mean? As opposed to it getting filled and then it goes the opposite direction.
No, I hear you completely, but it's too close. If you
Mm.
want to work on that premise, all that's telling me you're so terrified of loss that you're not thinking straight. You've got to accept it out of the picture. That's the way. If you can't afford to lose, you can't do the bloody trading. You cannot. So no, I disagree. You've got to have a bit of a distance. If you can't hack 30, 40 pips, go for a smaller position or something. But getting it 10 pips, that could have shot up 10 pips or $1 above or whatever, and then gone the right way, stop you as it comes off, and then go back up again, and you completely waste your time because it filled the other one. It might have even jumped down, stop your sell stop your buy stop out. Now you've taken a bigger loss than necessary, and you're still not in. Now it's going the direction you hope you could do. No, if you're going to put a stop loss in, you've got to give it a gap. Okay. I know the emotional fear is there. I get that completely. We've all got it. It's natural. But you've just got to discipline yourself to say, keep a gap. So let's say instead of putting, let's say 1 mini on a 10 pip, do maybe 50 pips and do 0.02 or something. Reduce your size. Reduce your money. If you haven't got enough money, well, then you need to get some more money in because you can't trade with no money and no risk and expect to make money. This goes against the laws of economical physics. But that being as it may, I just want to read a couple of these. I don't trade with someone who's just starting up. All right, please, guys, in future, join in the trading room, learn your stuff. Don't come into this session on a demo account with no money, never done it before, because you're just going to get confused and you're holding other people up. You can if you, I don't know, but you do need you can't get in the car and just drive off. You need to have some knowledge. So you need to go to your classes, platform training, and then hone your skills in the trading room. Okay. You might get a man. Yeah, we might. I've taught 1850. There's a little bit of good news coming, Brady, on ESCOM, which has been slightly positive on the rand. I think a little bit of dollar movement's got effect on it. I'm talking the dollar rand, by the way, not the euro rand, dollar rand. And I think, quite frankly, it was a bit undervalued. 20 to the dollar. I mean, the dollar's not that great. And I think that's a bit of profit taking, a bit overextended. So, yeah, 1850 looks okay, but it costs more. You know that. So I don't want to get too much of the trading discussion here. But it costs more, higher margins, not to play around your first trade. And it could come to a bit better. Just might be a bit sidelining. Just keep an eye on the ESCOM thing as well. The ESCOM load change a lot better. And that's having a more hopeful positive around. It might get back to 18. I think I'd be a little bit wary of the dollar rand, and especially the dollar part of the rand dollar exchange rate, Brady, going into interest rate tomorrow. Just be a little bit careful of that.
Roger?
Go for it.
Obviously, I was in the same situation where it took both trades. So it took the buy and the sell with that. So all I'm just not going to do, I know the position is hedged, so I'm just going to try and hedge myself out of that position over time.
You like, you know what you're doing, no problem.
So, because I mean, that's because I've got obviously the spread between them is $4 where he took it. So, I mean, the drawdown is not going to be that hectic. Do you think it's better to not close them out or just to try and hedge them out?
Just a second. Sorry, Brendan, I'm still in the session here. I'll call you back afterwards. Okay. Okay, sorry, you're saying? Sorry, Marty, go on.
And I just wanted to get your take. Is it more better to take the loss on the one when you see some clear-cut direction, or is it more better just to hedge your way out and see whichever way it goes? Which one would you think is best?
As I mentioned before a couple of weeks ago, Marty, I'm not keen on the hedge. When are you going to cut one side of the hedge? That's my worry. When you cut the hedge, what you're doing emotionally is you don't want to take a loss. Well, you're fairly clever. You might be thinking it's a good idea to do this. And some people have done that, and I've done that as well. I just find, let's say you take away your stop loss and you have hedging instead. The trouble is, when you're going to close one leg of the hedge, that's the big problem. To get it right, it's next to impossible. Sometimes it's too early, sometimes it's too long, or whatever. I personally think work out your volumes and take the pain of it, stop loss, ride the profit, it works out. My opinion, anyway.
Thank you.
Okay, as long as we're all the same. Good stuff. The Nasdaq's gone up. I think you might be here now. I explained about not getting over it, exposing wasting margin call. And I hope the person took it because it went into a bit of a profit on the NAS, way overexposed. I won't mention the name. I was phoning up earlier on today. Hope they took the profit on it and cut the position size down because there's a bit of a problem. They got the charts. If they left it in there, it could be biting. They might be close to a margin call. Always remember, don't overexpose. You're risking margin call. If you are overexposed and you've got no free margin, your position will be closed. I don't give a continental where your stop loss is. That's irrelevant. If you don't have free margin, your biggest trade will be closed. And if it still goes the wrong direction, you again run out of free margin, they'll close again until you've got margin back in your account. Please remember, don't get margin call. Get the right volumes, and you've got to do that. And the problem with small amounts of money, small balances, you often can't take trades because you're risking margin call. If you don't have the capital, bear that in mind. Go to classes, interact with that, find out what that's all about. That's vital. That is tears nearly daily on that basis. What's happened with the gold now? It's all over the place. I don't know what it wants to do. That's why I'm leaving the stop in there for whatever reason. Close the bloody thing. Doesn't know what it wants to do. My feeling is to the upside. Tell you why. I'm looking at the dollar index. I posted it for you earlier on in this session, and it's not big time. It's come off a bit. It seems to be a little bit of movement down on the dollar. So that is going to be, in theory, good for gold. So you might get a little bit more bounce up. Right now, I'd rather be long than short from it. Probably best not to be in at all. Take your profit, actually, where it's going. But yeah, sorry, man, just go back to saying, yeah, the hedge is a great idea in theory. It's just when to close it. And that's the perennial problem. When to close your long or your short. And sometimes it's, in the end, it wasn't correct long after all, and you've lost on the short edge and it's just a waste. Now, I think rather take the pain. That's my opinion anyway. Don't know, finally, Clinton, someone else might want to add to that. But yeah. Oh, Chantal just seen it. Sorry about that. Maybe not the big smile. Like as long as you know the reasons why, it came out as expected, hence the confusion. And that's why I can see those wicks there, confusion. That's the first time it's happened, quite frankly, like that since we've been doing this. So remember, the odds are it's going to work for you. So it didn't, as long as you haven't lost your bloody shirt on it, which you shouldn't do anyway, like I mentioned, you should have enough gunpowder left to go for the next time. Okay, next time with non-farm payrolls, first Friday in July. Any question, guys, before we wrap it up? You're good there. Well, good, but you understand. Sorry about that, but that's the market for you, okay? Anyone squeeze out the profits? Some guys did, well bloody done. That's a producer price index. It's important, but we won't be doing, you can do what you like if you know what you're doing yourself, but don't do it unless you know. But we won't be doing one in the trading room. It's just one to keep an eye on. Okay. Any other questions, guys? Got another few minutes if you want. I'm not in a rush if you're not. It's all great fun, but I just want to add value. Don't do all the waffle too much, which is a bad habit of doing, eh, Clinton? Any questions? Are we good?
Roger. Roger, can you hear me?
I can, yeah.
Yes. No, I just wanted to confirm because myself, I had already concluded that even though the movement started that I'm going to go long, but
sorry,
the
mate.
movement was shaking
Very
because
garbled. I can't understand you. Coming very, very garbled. Can't hear you clearly. Can't hear you clearly. Sorry. It's coming very garbled.
I think it's the signal. No, it's fine.
Sorry, mate. I heard no, it's fine. That's all I heard. Sorry about that, mate. PPI, like I said, it's the producer price index. We're not doing a straddle trade, no. Keep an eye on it, sure, but we're not doing a straddle trade. Brett's doing well. Good stuff, Chantel. I know. You're going to have to WhatsApp me. I just want to reply to this guy. Okay. Sorry I couldn't hear you there, but I think you got my number. You just WhatsApp me if you like. Yeah, if you got that, Christopher Skippers, let's say PPI has produced a price index, and that's for the producers, not the consumer. Similar, but not as powerful. The major reason not as powerful is because it's being released after CPI. So they've got some sort of inclination on it. So it'll have an effect, but bottom line is we're not doing a straddle trade on it. Okay. That's coming off for whatever reason. I'm inclined to the upside now. Let's go back to my dollar index just a second. Dollar index come off a bit, so I'm thinking more the upside, but looks like my sell's going to be taken in now. Oh well. Okay, NK, please if you can. To your experience, does the effective movement always goes up and down all the time or something like that? No, it always goes up. Yeah, if you get a major release, which is a major difference in expectation, you get a major jump. That's almost linear, but otherwise just buyers and sellers getting in and out. Remember this, guys, millions and millions of people trade the markets all over the world, and all of them are getting in and out all the time. A couple of guys have got in just in the trading of 100 people here, in and out. Can you imagine that multiplying to millions? You know what I'm saying? So you're always going to get what we call the noise. The up and down move, the noise. It's not going to be linear, no. Very important that. And all of those are emotional or logical or different cultures, different amounts of money, different experience, different balances, or different takes on information that come in. You know, I want to see this film, I thought it was great. You went to see it, you thought it was a load of old baloney. You get the point. So you're always going to get that noise. I hope you understand that. Okay. And stop looking for the no-brainer. It doesn't occur. If there's a no-brainer easy, then there will be no unemployment, no poverty in the world. You get the idea. It's got to be an area of doubt. Remember, you can't have a buyer without a seller. If you know it's going up and you think it's at the high and you want to sell it, why would you want to sell it? Because you think it's going to go down. Well, actually, you know it's going to go down. If you know it's going to go down, everyone else knows it's going to go down, you won't be able to sell it because no one's going to buy it off you. So you understand, you've got to have somebody out there who's got a completely 180 degrees different point of view to create the market in the first place. So you've got to have that element of unknown. Otherwise, you don't get it. So there's no-brainer. Quite right, brains. No-brainer. Everyone's looking for the no-brainer. It's a natural thing to do, especially when you start, even doing it for a while. But remember, once you get the no-brainer, you haven't got someone to take the opposite side. You know oil's going to go up. Who the hell's going to sell it to you? You're in oil and you know it's going to go down. You can't get out of it because no one's going to buy it off you. You've got to get someone to think, yeah, I disagree. You think it's going to go down, I think it's going to go up. Without that, you do not have a market. Remember that. So when you look for the no-brainer, naturally it is, don't. Be careful and take a view as a strategy. Run with your profits. Don't try and run with your losses. Okay. Don't say, it's getting him a stop. Should I modify? You mean modify to increase your loss? Why would you do that? Then you go into a profit and you take your profit too down quick. Natural, it's emotional, very emotional, this market. I get that. And then all you're doing now, you've got to win so many times to make up for the loss because your profits are not being run. If you get a good one, run with it. People are so quick to want to get out of their profit and want to really hold on to their loss. And it's coming loud. It's coming up. I thought it might. I thought it makes no sense to continue down. And somebody get that in the market. It makes no sense at all. But now it's need to try to move back up again. So a guy just called me up there on WhatsApp and said, he's in long, should I hold it? And I said, well, I thought, stick my neck out here, but yeah, I think it's going to continue up, yeah. Don't get in a trade now. I think take a deep breath or jump in, try and make a quick buck or anything like that. But if you're in the long, I do see the upside. And I'm simply based that on the fact the CPI was the same. So it looks like we're not going to have an interest rate increase tomorrow, and looks like the dollar's come off a bit, which gives it some tailwind to the gold. Okay, so bottom line is looks like it, but just make sure you're protected. Okay. So go back to what Brian said there. There's no brainer. Okay, guys, I'm going to call it a day now. It's Cambria Trading, and you've got the, you know about the TR now. Please join the TR, and and then we can start honing those understanding parts and the skills. Okay. Cheers, guys. Hope you're all good.
Yes,
Good.
thank you very much for today, sir. I made some profit.
Oh, brilliant. Everyone do. That's a better line. Sorry to learn something, but it's nice to make a profit. Just want to read something Chantel put out there. Join the trade room and follow us like what? Okay, I don't think there is such a thing as an ideal mark with all respect. Yes, sometimes somebody wins the lottery, but most people do not. So yes, too many variables and too many traders out there manipulate. Well, I'm manipulating. No, hang on. Especially in the currency market is so enormous. Even the Bank of Japan, many times in the past, has come with what they call the Bank of Japan intervention with billions of dollars. It does move the yen, but if the yen is weak or strong, it might jump it in one direction, but it'll go back to normal one. It's not market manipulation, no. It's movement of the majority of people. So if you get 10 million people out there suddenly all going buying gold, and they've all got reasonable size accounts and all highly leveraged, but the gold's going to go up. Doesn't matter whatever's happening, the gold will go up. So it's not manipulation, it's moving the buyers and sellers. More buyers it goes up, more sellers it goes down. Buyers and sellers are not sure, it goes sideways, and that's called indecision. Big difference to manipulation. We're not big enough to do that. Get that quite a lot. Guys, a small account saying quick trade manipulation. We can't. This is a far bigger than quick trade. This is $1 trillion a day international market. Remember that. Okay, I'm gonna have to jump off as well, guys. Good. Cheers now. Keep in touch and hope we get better. Cheers, Hank. Thanks very much for attending. Cheers now.